doing?
Oh my
I
god.
don't even know what's going on.
Okay, Sagittarius. We're going to do something different here because I've tried to do your reading. This will be the third time. Had some issues with corrupted files. Maybe you've got corrupted files. Maybe somebody in your life is corrupted. But and I did see the cards in those other readings, but I didn't like them. And the story was almost identical each time. And it made me feel a little bit antsy. I felt like, I literally felt like want to get away. One of them flew out. Gosh, let's try it again. I don't want to see that tower already. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to come out. In fact, pardon me just a moment. I'm going to make some hot water. I feel like I need to make a cup of coffee. You're going to wait for me just a second because there's another process going on back there in the background. And I want to get this done. Let's just go into investigation mode. Let's try to find out why we're getting the same reading. All right. How can I help you guys? Okay. Okay. There we go. We got the Fool in reverse. Popped out nicely. Somebody's popping out or somebody's popping up. Somebody's getting popped. Now that's something else. That means you're going to the pokey. Okay. All right. We got the Queen of Swords in reverse. I don't like that, but okay. God bless it. Okay. Okay. Why is the Queen of Swords in reverse turning her back to the Fool? We're not going to be doing a whole crazy reading here. This is just, wow, transient energy. Boy, the Queen of Swords shows up. That's the air sign. Now we have the Chariot. Very good. Upright. Come on, better cards. Queen of Swords is an air sign, but in the reverse, boy, that is a bitch. The two worst cards, I think, in terms of people that you could find in the tarot, you could ask anybody, is literally the King and Queen of Swords in reverse. Those two air signs, air. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Come on, baby, we just need one more. All right. Fuck me. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get my coffee because it's the devil. It's the devil, and it's gonna be it better not be the bathrobe coven. I'll be right back, you guys. I know. I just don't want to pause it because I don't, no. We're gonna go whole hog, and where it's not going to take us very long because I have plans, I have things I need to do, but I want to help you. All right. This is just instant coffee, but it's my favorite. So I'll be right back. How are you? I doubt you could hear me completely, but okay. I could be playing my piano. I could be doing anything else, and then I've got to see the freaking weirdness. Be right there. Be right back. Can you tell? Can you tell it's already not what I wanted to see? Sagittarius, I get worried, also because my nephew is a Sagittarius. And he is enough of a Sagittarius for all Sagittarius and is the reason why Sagittarius is a lot for me. Okay. Where do I set it? There for now. Okay, guys, I feel better. I don't want to see that. All right, let me look at these cards with you. I do not want this to become a full-blown investigation. That Chariot there, Queen of Swords in reverse, Devil, Seven of Pentacles. Be careful that we don't go into some kind of Title 18 USC 10 Section 1071. Somebody's harboring a fugitive. Okay, so let's just get to this. Let's just get it over with. Okay, so for the first card, we have the Fool in reverse. So the theme for the week is like having some kind of, like you're childlike in some way, but you have a lot to learn. You may feel like a grown-up and you may... Oh, here, let's do this. Let's clear some energy. Cover your ears. Sorry about that. So, this is a card that indicates that, you're a person, you or somebody else. It may not even be you. You may not even be this Sagittarius. I hope you're not, I hope that this is talking about, even if you are the Sagittarius, that none of this has anything to do with you. Because when a Sagittarius is immature, it's a lot. It's, there are certain types of Sagittarians, not you, but they do not grow up in the worst way. So people will be around for a while, like until they're about 16 or 25 or whatever, and then it's no longer cute. Because the Fool in reverse is the game player who gets caught, and we have every indication here. So it could be that you have a child in your home. Maybe you've got a Sagittarius that is a young person and everybody's about had it. Maybe somebody in your life could have maybe you're a Sagittarius that is dealing with somebody like this, or maybe you feel like this and the Queen of Swords, well, we'll get to that. So we've got the childlike energy that, I'm just going to read it straight to you because I see that I'm not going to get around it. This is the card. The Fool in reverse says that you don't know how much danger you're in. Okay, this is the card that says your crazy decisions have brought you to ruin and destruction. So again, don't get triggered. This is just a freaking tarot card reading. This is not a coaching session. We are not discussing your personal problems. We're trying to investigate what's happening to our Sagittarius, okay? Most of the time, you guys are cross watchers. That you're like, I had one tell me, I hate Sagittarius. I said, you don't hate anybody because everybody's chart has everything in it, whether there's an empty house in a chart or not. And she's like, no, I really hate Sagittarius. And then we had to share stories about the Sagittarius. I've got a friend, somebody who I haven't talked to in a very long time, but I adore her. She's a Sagittarius. I know that she's a lot in a relationship, but I adore her because I'm not in a relationship with her. Sorry, didn't mean to slurp that coffee, but I want to get it down into my body. Okay, so this Sagittarius, there is a Sagittarius who's very close to ruin because of some crazy actions, decisions, just recklessness, being a fool, literally a fool. This is the card that indicates that there is a Sagittarius out there that has some ideas that are just not going to work. And for the challenge, we have this bitch, the Queen of Swords in reverse. So somebody is dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. Literally in the reverse, an air sign is almost as impossible to deal with at times than they can be when they are in the upright. No shade to the air signs. It's just air signs can be a lot. Okay, so in the reverse, here's a female. Obviously, this female person that this Sagittarius is dealing with is a bitch, and she's posing a challenge because she conceals her true emotions. This is vicious gossip, betrayal, not a true friend. This is somebody that says what she thinks people wants to hear. Sounds like a manipulator. We could have a Sagittarius that has attracted the manipulator that he manipulated and the player got played kind of energy. So I'm going to tell you this. For some of you parents that have children that are old enough to be in the marrying and the early years of divorce, marrying and in the early years of having children and building a family, expect some turbulent times clear through to the end of the year if you know what I'm talking about already. This is a person that would be envious of you for this Sagittarius person. You know, you could be the mother to this all. You could be like, hey, you could be some Empress mother out there going, what the hell? You know, like, and it's happening. Or you could be the next door neighbor that knows about this couple, because these are the kind of people that are going to get law enforcement called on them. As a challenge, already, I have to tell you the truth. I do not want this to take forever. Do not trust this woman. This is the one causing you problems, whoever you are. Sagittarius. Okay. For your finances, we have the Chariot. So this is a card of success, of confidence, determination. If you have been ill, you will be victorious over this, or a Sagittarius will. Enemy, and cross watcher, it could apply to you as well. You'll be victorious over your enemies. Financial problems, you should be able to overcome them. Of course, there's going to be achieved goals through self-control. So you must self-control. You must control yourself. So you need your discipline, your willpower to be just on point. This is where you focus on the battle at hand. You take satisfaction in your accomplishments. But you have to guard against arrogance with this. Nobody likes an arrogant Sagittarius. I have met the arrogant Sagittarius. I have never not met a Sagittarius that wasn't arrogant in some covert narc way. So do not... if you're long in the tooth, do not go there. Okay, that's only going to make you more enemies than you need. And it looks like you have an enemy, and this bitch is the Queen of Swords. Oh my goodness! I'm thinking about my black dog drinking from a mug. That's from the black dog. Okay. Let's lighten this up somehow. This is better than the other readings, because in the two other readings, it's like your reputation is getting smashed and trashed and people are making fun of you. Or people were seeing you as a fool and that you didn't know what you were doing, and people are talking about you behind your back, saying that person is a mental nightmare. And so with the Chariot like this, I like it better, even though you're like, but Rita, I've got that bitch over there and you're telling me the devil's waiting for me at the end. Wait a second though and hear me out. If you guard against arrogance, you can earn respect. Now, the good thing here with the Fool in reverse is that he's, even though he doesn't know what he's doing, people, like, they kind of forgive him until they won't, he'll never be able to make an apology that will make sense to people, because they're going to say, this is like the kid that says, but I'm sorry, mommy, I'm sorry that I broke it, and then nobody ever believes him, because those kids turn out to be the 36 and the 46 and the 56-year-old that say, I'm so sorry, mommy, I broke it. Okay, so the problem is you got to grow up and not be a Toys R Us kid anymore. You or the person in your life. I don't even want to Let's cover up. I'm going to turn over that Queen of Swords. She's giving me the creeps, and she's right opposite that devil. Like this could be one of our coven people. Okay, and then we've got for romance, I'm sorry about this, but for romance, we've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So this means that, like, putting in all this work for nothing. You could be saying, I've been dealing with this bitch from hell, the Queen. I can't. I can't make it up. I've been dealing with this Queen from hell, this not queen, this tyrant bitch, hard, dry skin, fucking mental nut job over here. And now Sagittarius is saying, I am now mental because I have put all this effort into working with this Queen of Swords in reverse bitch who's out to undercut, literally off with our heads out of jealousy for, Alice in Wonderland, Snow White, and all of the princesses. Okay, she's just an angry person that can't let the princesses be princesses. But this is where you've overinvested in something. And it's related to romance and it's pentacles and it's hard work. It's also can indicate that you've got some loans that are in default, some anxiety regarding a loan in default that has to do with romance and this bitch over there. That seems to be the problem because you were immature, or a Sagittarius was immature and ended up doing something really stupid and reckless and led to the catastrophe that is the Queen of Swords in reverse. But I say people, they attract each other. And if they end up with each other, and let's just say, I'm going to go back to the analogy that this is about your children, your downline, your family. If these two people are hooked up together, there is a lesson there that is karmic. I guarantee you that those two people have attracted each other and got stuck together because they are basically the same person. So you have to keep your hands out of this as a parent and let that thing work itself out, except be careful because a Chariot and the Devil, especially together with the Chariot, can indicate law enforcement investigations. The Chariot guy literally is the 5-0 in a black and white vehicle. That is the 5-0. And in the art that you're not seeing here, my 5-0 in here literally is black and white. It is a beat cop. It is a street cop. It is not the Fed. It is a cop. So literally somebody could pull up in front of your house and freaking say the neighbors are concerned. Okay. Maybe that's how this reputation, like I saw on the other, that I'm like, how is this guy or girls or families or in-laws, or you could be the grandparents. How has this reputation been so smashed that people behind the scenes are saying, it's like this and that, or she's like this and that, and he's like that. And I'm seeing why. Okay, so this is also the card that says that, there are many possible choices and there's no clear answer as to which is the best choice or decision for your path forward, what you will do. Please don't be a serial dater. Like if this is you in this situation, you're getting a divorce, you're breaking up, just knock it off, because Sagittarius has a tendency, because of their like rampant insecurities, to just serial date, kind of like to fill the void that is their empty soul. When they're that negative, that they're in that serial dating thing, the player keeps playing. Why does the player play? Because the player has no song of his own. Okay, so investments are a disappointment. You could be dealing with real estate. That would also be Capricorn energy with the Devil card. Got Cancer energy over here with the emotions. That's freaking law enforcement. That is a beat cop. This bitch with her face, she could be the one calling the cops on you and saying, hey, Sagittarius, that she could be the type of person that would say, I need you to check up on him because I know that he's mentally unstable and he's chemically unwell. That's the fucking know-it-all. Queen of Swords in reverse is the worst. I'm telling you, the only other horrible person in here would have to be if the King of Swords in reverse showed up, but this isn't a full reading because let me look at the time. So with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse as relates to romance, there could be some real estate tying you two together, and this person has to be cut go. You could be the Queen of Swords, but I doubt you're going to be the Queen of Swords who's like the raging bitch over here, because it's coming into the position as your challenge, your problem. What's your problem, Sagittarius? And I'm talking to Sagittarius Sun Moose, right? Sun Moose. Moose. Maybe that's a cow that you're having trouble. Oh, God. Okay, so, significant placements or cross watcher or accidental watcher. You've got some raging bitch over here who's causing you problems. You could have some real estate tied up together. Now, if you're like, Rita, we don't own no property. Okay, well, if you don't own no property, which would be a double negative and would tell me that you do own property. Okay, I'm not going to go full Virgo on you, because then like everything grammatical, all of it. And I try to stay super loose with that. I am relaxed, but when I get irritated, then I'm like on it. Like, what do you mean double negative? He don't mean no trouble. Well, then yes, he does. Okay. All right. So here with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, like what I'm saying is if you don't own property together, well, then the the same energy would be like if you and your boyfriend live together and you really don't own shit because you're broke, like you probably are, like all young people are, and having a good time, living your life, going to Coachella and forgetting to pay the rent, and you own one television and an Xbox. There's your real estate. Do you understand? Okay, so now when we go back to the possible choices and action without planning, dooming your finances, there is trouble here. And I think you're going to need, if you are at a higher level where higher level of finances and this crazy bitch is doing shit and you were completely stupid and got involved with somebody that you should not have gotten involved with, and everybody makes mistakes. We've all made them. I'm just the type that as soon as I see something like this, I'm like, out of here. We have the devil. You get an attorney is what you get. And you don't just like, make sure that you don't piss people off with attorneys, because the moment you start invoking the attorney thing, everybody knows exactly who you are. You only use an attorney when you have a real issue, something significant, or everybody knows that you're completely inflated dumbass. So now with the devil card for the solution, this is where I am concerned. Because the solution is about a greedy, materialistic, selfish approach or person, disregard for others, beware of someone who tries to control you. You are caught in an unhealthy situation. This is a card of sexual perversity and dark secrets, sexual addiction, overspending, substance abuse, compulsions, judge people by their values, not their outside appearance. So, okay, I think I get it. Do I get it? Yes, let me swallow the coffee. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Jesus Christ. Lord, literally help us with the Sagittarius and this insanity. I can't with it. I can't with it. I almost can't with it. I almost don't want to. I like grown men and women. I'm not gay, so I only like grown men. I have seen this. I mean, I wasn't involved in a thing like this, but I've seen these personages, let's just say. So here we have Satan. And I will tell you this, that's why I really didn't want to see the cards again. We'll use a completely different oracle, because there's something about a sexually transmitted disease. And I do not mean spiritually transmitted disease. I do mean sexually transmitted disease. And seeing the Fool in reverse and the Devil card, someone here already has contracted or is at risk of contracting a sexually transmitted disease. I'm just going to spit it out there because I don't want to dance around this and have anybody. Look, I want to tell you this. If you're listening to this and you're promiscuous or you're sleeping with people, and I know that it happens to people, that somebody cheats on them and then gives them something. That's why, you gotta, oh God, how do I help you with this? Okay, for those of you that feel like, or can say this, oh, I know that he or she is cheating on me. Oh, I know for sure. Then you know what to do, don't you? Then you know what to do. Okay, going to talk to you like this. Then you know what to do. If your person is literally cheating on you, and I'm not saying everybody go full insecure and go completely crazy, mentally ill, because then I'm going to have to tell you that you need to be referred to a psychologist and to everybody else. You can't live that way. Insecurities cannot rule your life this way. It will ruin your life. It will ruin everybody's life. You can't. I grew up with a highly insecure father, but his problem was not because he was insecure or had any issues about his masculinity or about his sexuality or about his performance in the bedroom. It wasn't anything like that. It had to do with the fact that he was insecure about losing my mother, because like he told everybody later in life, it was really the way that he could explain it. My mother was so beautiful. He said everybody wanted her. They would look at her eyes and fall in love with her. And my father left his whole family in Cuba. Well, whole family really was, like extended cousins. But at the time when they came in 1966, it was his mother, Rita, who I'm named after, and my aunt Mercedes. And, that was his world. And he had to leave a son behind. My half brothers, well, two of them. And, it shouldn't have gone that way. They should have brought him. But my dad thought, kind of like the old fashioned way, the children always stay with the mother and that kind of thing, but, my dad was really insecure about that, and he had to completely trust that he would be okay with my mom's whole family, which in the end, really, I've got relatives that are, boy, had one that passed not too long ago. That's 100 and something. Both of them lived to 100 and something. And, in that situation, really, even after the divorce or any divorces in our family, like we'd have family get togethers and everybody's who's divorced and their new partners, everybody's having a good time. And there was no party or gathering that was complete or even going to be any fun if they would, like, relatives would say, ¿Y dónde está Alejandro? Like it wasn't going to be okay unless Alejandro was there. Alejandro, 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 Alejandro. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. If you are in a relationship and somebody's promiscuous with these cards, they would have been caught, or you're very close, or you check the GPS with the chariot. And when I say sexually transmitted disease, I'm not going to give you one shot. I'm not going to give you a shot at all. That's done. You cannot be with the person who poses a risk to your physical health. I don't care if you have 20 children and no money. I have been in a situation before, like multiple times, like get rid of the relationship. That's okay. Don't care what my situation is, until I figured out I needed to not reenact my father's insecurities by ending up with only insecure men with, all kinds of issues with themselves, their masculinity, all of it. You need to get out of that relationship. It doesn't matter to me if you're a male and you're like, I know this bitch is doing something. Like, okay, like fine. If you're with that Queen of Swords and you know that she's just with you because she's manipulating, conniving, or doing one thing or another, well, then there's your sign. If I'm not telling you that there is cheating present, but like we see that somebody's either on their way, or it could be that you're like, I don't care. Now, don't you be the one to cheat, because Sagittarius can be very, you guys, when you're negative, or you know what I'm saying, okay? Like the player is always playing, and that's why, like you're lucky when you can find somebody who can handle a Sagittarius, because it really. So this is what I have to say. We're going to now go to, because we're at 26 minutes. I'm not going to pull those oracles because I already saw that STD thing. I don't want to use that again. I'm going to go to something different to see if we get some different messages. Pardon me. I want this coffee so bad. Pardon me. I don't mean to do that. Like, not in a rude way. Okay. Let me turn them this way. All right. Let's just get some oracles that have hopefully nothing to do with sexually transmitted diseases, spiritually transmitted diseases, bathrobe covens. I don't want to hear about extortion, arrogance. I don't want to hear about the rage fighting lady, the CNA, the NA, the MMA fucking fighting bitch. Okay, I don't want to hear about this in the energy. All right, wings of wax flew too close to the sun. Ego and hubris, the initial M is significant, as is the Queen of Wands in reverse. Somebody manipulated somebody with sex, or, enticing them. Like, look, if your partner was that stupid that they would go do something and, blow it with you because they are too retarded, well, then they're too retarded. I don't care if they're a neurosurgeon with wings of wax, they're too retarded. The Caduceus thing. All right. I don't know how many we're going to get because I'm just going to try to keep my hands loose here. That didn't work. All right, tell us something. Okay, there's 2 down here. I've got hooked, detective fell in love, corrupt imposter, unrest, scandal, theft by deception. The initial A is significant. That's Babe. One of my favorite movies. And I've got manipulation, federal time, mind control, federal crime. The initial K is significant. And evidence, trying to get evidence on you, surveillance, the letter X. Oh, I forgot to read the card. The Emperor is the one associated with manipulation, federal time, mind control, federal crime, and the letter K. Did I say hooked? Hooked is the 10 of wands. That's detective fell in love. Corrupt imposter, unrest, scandal, theft by deception, the letter A. I did read the wings of wax flew too close to the sun, ego and hubris. And then this one, evidence, trying to get evidence on you, surveillance, the letter X. So like, be careful if that is your ex. If your ex is the Queen of Swords, bitch, okay, now that could be a male or a female, okay? Flip it, switch it, flip it, switch it in reverse. I don't want to have to go that way because I'll start dancing. Two of Swords. So somebody needing Two of Swords in reverse, maybe somebody has made that decision. Let's get something. Can we just please get something happen? Can we? Okay. I'm going to give this another 30 seconds. Woo! Okay. We're going to take this as the last one. The initial D is highly significant. Broken bells. Drama starter. Stains on glass. Fuck me. The devil. All right. Somebody's getting divorced, got a divorce, wants a divorce, is thinking about they're going to plan a divorce, plan the divorce. The divorce is happening. The divorce already happened. I drank the coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. I will drink coffee. You know how it goes. Okay, you guys, I love you. Holy shit.
Ma faire fou, elle est toi.